Howdy, friends. I'm, this is Nate, and I'm Andrew, and welcome to the 2021 legislative edition of the Disability Law Center's Policy Corner at Home edition.
We're obviously, as Andrew mentioned, we're still doing the at-home edition. So, the legislature will be handling things virtually, much as they have through many of the special sessions. It does appear that there will be the ability to go to the Capitol and attend things in person. However, I think from the DLC's perspective, that's not something we're going to be doing this year. For information on how to attend meetings and how the session looks, there is information on the legislature's website, le.utah.gov. With that said, we'll try to post links on our social media and on the public policy page on our website, so folks have the info. The option will be through Zoom, is our understanding. So, hopefully you're all familiar with that at this point. And then, so you can get that info there. One other thing that's probably worth mentioning is, it's going to be really important this legislative session to stay in touch with your legislators. The best way to do that is going to be through email and text. You should be able to find contact info on the legislature's website, le.utah.gov.
Newly elected Governor Cox released his budget recommendations on Monday. We did notice that they are heavily education and rural and transportation focused. While all of these are good and necessary areas, we would suggest that instead of considering an $80 million tax cut, the legislature put some serious resources toward critical health, human, and social services, especially in the middle of a pandemic.
So beyond the budget, there's obviously going to be a number of bills coming up this session. So we just wanted to highlight a couple of things I think that will be that we're aware of, that we're watching right now. Obviously, things can change quickly. But right now, I think what we're hearing is that we anticipate there will be, some bills regarding something that's been in the media a lot, the youth residential treatment facilities. At this point, I don't think we know what it looks like, but obviously this is a vulnerable group of folks, and we want to make sure that any legislation that comes out is aimed at protecting them and their rights. Aside from that, I think we anticipate a little bit being done around mental health. Certainly nothing as big as last year with Elison's HBs 32 and 35. With that said, I think right now what we're seeing is a lot of these bills are focused on immediate crisis. I think our hope would be that the legislature would look to maybe expand services in a way that would help people avoid crisis, and or when the crisis is over, have services to go into. So that's something we're going to be watching and pushing for.
Like much of the public, we have been focused on law enforcement reforms since late in the summer. This is also one of the issues that we anticipate to be a significant focus for the legislature in the upcoming session. We will be particularly concentrated on making sure that police are adequately trained in de-escalation techniques and crisis intervention, and the resources available to them in the community to address these issues, and also ensuring that law enforcement is held accountable for when they use force, whether that force be appropriate or not, and that the public be able to hold them accountable through mechanisms like civilian oversight boards.
And obviously, one other thing we're going to be continuing to watch this year is the funding we've talked about in previous years for our settlement regarding intermediate care facilities. At this point, I think much of the funding has been secured, but we've lost a few things through COVID and other budget cuts. And so, I think we're going to be focused on making sure that we get the quality improvement incentives for ICFs this year, the funding restored for that, as well as ensuring that the funding to help people move into the community will still be there and adequate to move the number of people we need to move, as well as trying to increase funding for limited supports, which we were pleased to see get some funding last year.
In addition to at least weekly Policy Corner episodes, you can look forward to our trustee bill tracker and budget tracker posted on our website, along with upcoming meetings that advocacy meetings that may be of interest to you to participate in, and upcoming bills of potential interest and committee schedules. So please check out our policy page often for those resources, and let us know if there's anything else that would be helpful to you that you'd like to see.
All right, well, everyone, as always, thanks for watching the Policy Corner. As Andrew mentioned, we're going to try and keep you updated with these at least weekly. Hopefully, there will be plenty going on in the session to keep y'all interested in watching. So thanks, everybody.
See y'all soon.